Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is episode 22 of our Transport Fever 2 Let's Play. If you guys are new to this series, definitely check out some of the older videos. We will go ahead and do a quick recap and then we'll go ahead and get into it. Alright, episode 22. So we are just taking a look at our electric rail line running from Norton down to Carshalton. It is moving a tremendous amount of grain, so we're going to get back to that. But for now, quick recap. We established our highway network a little bit further, running from Sandown down to Redruth, cutting through this little mountaintop here, and then running up to Duckenfield. It's getting a ton of use, which is great to see. We got it, going for our industry here, as well as some buses running back and forth. So it's a great connection. So, with that being said, we're going to take a break from the highway building, and we're going to go back and focus on our grain. So, like I said, we were going to come back to this grain. This rail is providing a massive amount of grain, percentage-wise, to this food processing plant. The other portion is coming from these ships here. Now, you pretty much see that this is completely running out of grain immediately following every delivery. And as a result, we got trains waiting for food. We're not able to spare any extra grain to make it up to the Redruth area to get into this Duckenfield distillery. So we need to provide some more grain here. So we're going to do that by activating this grain facility here. That should be pretty easy. We're just going to run it right into here. We'll run it right into this same complex. So let's come into here, add in another platform. Now that kind of screwed up what we got going on here, so I'm going to delete these out. I'm also going to delete this out, and we're gonna edit this a little bit. So let's get rid of that, and let's go ahead and add in our other street entrances here. And now we're going to come into roads. I'm just going to upgrade this one just for continuity. And then let's also break that off, because we're going to take it a little bit more direct across here. Do have to get rid of these signals. So get rid of those. Put this track back in so that that line is functioning. And now we're going to cross over right about there. Reconnect that. Can also come through here and upgrade that. Might as well go ahead and upgrade this road as well. Not really necessary, but might as well. And then I'll actually upgrade these with the one-way roads, like that. Okay, but back to what we were doing here. So we're going to take this road, I'm going to run it straight down here, and then we're going to join that in. So we'll just kind of curve it down here, and then connect that in, and then let's go back into our rail line so we can add our signals back in to protect that crossing. Okay, so now here, we need to reconnect this. So I'm going to pull that down at a right angle, and then let's go ahead and get these in here. I'm going to do them backwards just to keep them straight, but then we will come back and flip them around. There we go. Now let's get some waypoints in here, just so that we can tell our lines where to go. And now we're going to do a little editing here. So this first one, this is a truck. Carshalton grain. Where's this going? So that is our grain drop-off at the harbor. So I'm going to, let's move from the outside. So silver ore at Carshalton sidings, use platform 4. And it's using this. I'm just going to make sure it does. Now we have Carshalton food. So this one is going to move to platform 3. And it's using that. I'm just going to make sure that it does. And then Carshalton grain. So at Carshalton sidings, use platform 2. And then it's using that. And you know what? Now that I think about it, probably don't need any of those. And all those are going to work fine. But what that does is it opens up this inside platform for our grain delivery, which is going to be coming from down here. So let's get rid of this road here so that we can kind of straighten it out a little bit. Bring it all the way down to about there. We'll straighten it out from that intersection and tie it right into there. Yeah, that should work. Okay. Now the question is, what kind of road do we want to use here? So one thing that I'm also going to do, we had noticed this in a previous episode. So if we go into a depot here, oh, it looks like it fixed itself. My roads are now showing me miles per hour, which is great. Okay, so one thing that we're going to do. So our trucks are currently limited to 25. So we can certainly go with these small country roads. The medium country roads are 50, and then the large are 62. And then we actually get into the highway, which are the same. So I think we're going to go with a small country road here, just because it's not really, we don't need the extra speed for now. We should be fine with, the 37 that it's going to give us. So if and when, not if and when, but when we get the new roads, we can go ahead and upgrade to faster roads, or not the new roads, the new vehicles. We can go ahead and upgrade to faster road speeds, when that becomes necessary. But for now, we should be totally fine to be able to work with these 37 mile an hour roads. Now, I wonder, could I branch off here? Yeah, I could certainly do that. So why don't we back this out just a little bit, and we'll actually make the connection here. Just one less intersection that they're going to have to go through. And then we can go ahead and upgrade that. And we'll just upgrade all these country roads kind of as we go. And now I'm just going to get a bit smaller of a brush. Just kind of come through and smooth out around this road. Just so that it looks nice. All right, so let's get a truck stop in here. So we're going to want one platform. I could probably just get away with doing something like this, quite honestly. So let's come in here. Let's add on a couple of those. Maybe take one of them off so that we can fit a building in here. Something like that. Come back through and smooth that out. And now we can get our line set up. So let's go with a new line. And it'll run, oh, that's technically in Norton. That's interesting. And it'll run right into here. Let's make it like a dark, kind of yellowish color. And we'll have them wait for a full load before they come down here. And we'll call this Carshalton grain. That is going to conflict with the Carshalton grain here. So we'll make this grain 2. We'll make that grain 1. That should work. And now we can go ahead, go into our road depot here, and we can get a ton of vehicles on here. So moving grain, we're going to go with the tarpaulins, and let's get like 20. 20 vehicles on there to start, and hopefully we kind of speed this up. Yep, this is probably going to immediately level up once we start getting this stuff transported. But it is, and it's actually dropping some at Duckenfield as well, which will be great. Now, in order to get a more direct grain delivery all the way up here to this distillery, there's really no grain in this region. Like the nearest grain farms to the distillery are probably this one in Twickenham. Yeah, and then you know, we have to wait until we get all the way up past Reading to get another grain farm. So I'm thinking we're going to activate this Twickenham grain farm as well, and just do a direct delivery up here to Duckenfield. And the way that I'm going to do that, I'm thinking I'm going to use ships. I could do it via ground. I really don't want to just run a rail line up here arbitrarily. So I'm thinking I'm going to add a harbor here, and the ships will make their way down this river, through our little canal, up past Twickenham, and drop right in here in the Redruth harbor. Might seem a little out of the way, but, you know, I like to kind of do things a little differently from time to time, and I think that this would be a good opportunity to do so. So I'm going to add in a little harbor area right there. Make this nice and small. Kind of flatten out along the side. Smooth it out back there. Nice. So now we have that. So if we come in here, we should be able to put a large landing. Just like that. And now we have a second platform that we can deliver to. So let's come over to this farm. And I think we can get a harbor and catchment here, if I dig out enough space. But I'm not sure. So let's kind of... Yeah, and actually that terrain is pretty significant, so I might just put it in here and then drop it off with trucks. Just because that terrain is pretty significant. So let's get a cargo harbor in here. Place it right about there. Grab a platform. Get rid of that one. Don't know if I can get that large landing in quite yet. So let's smooth out a little bit more land, so we can get that large landing in there. Like that. And now let's make this brush a little bit smaller so we can grab this height here. And then we can fill in behind here. Get a nice big chunk of area here. And then I'm just going to kind of, if you move your mouse really fast, you can kind of get a little lumpy area going on. And that should be good for when we come back through with a bit bigger brush and smooth this out. Get it to be a little bit more natural looking. Like that. Now we'll just come through here with a little bit smaller brush, pick up that land there, and now we have a good harbor. So now we're going to need a road here. Let's get a road in like that. And then I should be able to fit a... Yeah, I can fit a platform in here. Something like that. And this is just going to be a drop-off, so it doesn't need to be all that large. Now we are going to curve this off. And start to make our way up here. And let's just kind of see how steep that is. That is pretty steep. Let's kind of curve that off and make it just a little bit less aggressive. That looks okay. And now we can just kind of make our way right over here right past that farm. And then I think we will tie this in here, like that. Get rid of this road just for a minute. Connect that in. And then we should be able to fit our truck stop in right here. So let's kind of spin that around. Put that in right about there. And let's go ahead and expand this just a little bit. We can give them a building. You know, you could imagine it's like a service building or something to service the vehicles, keep them all running. And then we'll just go ahead and smooth out around here like that. Okay, now our nearest truck depot is here in Twickenham, so we can send those trucks down there. Might as well get that set up, because I don't think... yeah, that's not in catchment. So let's get a new line. Let's just run it down here. This is going to be Twickenham grain. We want them to wait for a full load of grain before they come down here. So this will be Twickenham grain. Okay. Now, before I forget, I want to come up here, and I want to make sure that this, at lower Redruth, yes, you are only picking up plastic. Good. Because I didn't want them to pick up grain and bring it all the way back down here. That is not necessary. So now let's get our new shipping line. Actually, before we do, let's go ahead and get those trucks on their way. It's going to take them a little while to get down here. So let's buy maybe 16 vehicles. 16 Benz trucks. And let's throw them on Twickenham grain. Take them a while to get down there. But now if we add a station, we want them to come up here. Could not connect all stations. It's this bridge. This bridge is the culprit, not allowing us to go down the river, so we're gonna have to move the bridge. So let's pause this real quick, see if we can make this work. So that was a 4-lane bridge road. Let's see if we can make this work. So if I bring it up to there, that just gives me one small area, one small passable waterway right in there. Okay. So what if we grab from here? Just, I don't have a lot of runway for that. And I would really love to have this bridge. That does give me some passable waterways. It's only going to be small ships though. Just going to get rid of this road for now, as well as this one. And I would love to kind of try and flatten out this bridge a little bit. That looks good. And that gives us some workable waterways. And then let's come in here and just kind of clean that up from what it was previously. We can go ahead and here, back this road out, connect that up, and then let's go ahead and give them back their roads here. I don't know if they're actually gonna expand over here, but I'd like to at least kind of prompt them. So they've got some roads over here. Because Carshalton, in theory, will kind of fill up this little area, and hopefully they get to the point where they can start to expand over here, just because I think that would look pretty cool. Come in there, try and flatten that out. Okay, so now this works. Or at least it does, from a certain angle. Okay, but now we need to add in their stops. So let's get some waypoints in here. I'm going to have them go through here. Actually, let's go into our waterways. So they can go through all three of these. So I'm going to have them come through here. And come back here. They're going to cross, so I need one there. Probably just every so often on our way back. So let's get those in. So let's put one here. Here. And then we could just mirror those with ones going in the other direction. Going back down. Kind of creating like a channel. And now let's give them their markings. So they're going to come through here. And then all the way down this waterway. Okay, and then after Redruth, they're going to go all the way back. Doing a little crossing there, which isn't great. And there we go. So that is now quite a long delivery. We can go ahead and make that like a yellow color. And at Skelton, we'll have them wait for a full load of grain. Forever. Until they get that load of grain. Now I am going to give them a depot right here. Not sure where. Might put it in there, so I might get a little bit smaller brush. Kind of open up a little area there. So that I can go ahead and put this in here. Right like that. And then we can just smooth out this road. Get a couple ships on there. Not sure what line. Oh yeah, we need to name that. So this is going to be a shipping route, and this is Redruth grain. And now we'll go ahead and buy a couple ships. So they're going to have to be small. And they're going to have to be cargo. So it looks like these Schaffhausens will probably be the best one, because those are small. So let's go ahead and get maybe 4. 4 of them on there. Make them yellow. And throw them on there. And now if we speed this up, this should start to recognize duck and field perfect. With not that much grain, surprisingly. But it is going to climb. It's kind of making me wonder if that's too many ships, because these each have a capacity of 130. We'll have to see. Our trucks are on the way over here, but something tells me they're going to blow through that pretty fast. Hang on 1 minute. I'll be right back. And we're back. All right, so left the game running while I went and did a quick job, but as you can see, I think we have one too many vehicles on here. So let's go ahead and just sell a few until we kind of equalize ourselves, where they're just kind of constantly running. And then if we see that there ends up being a buildup of grain, then we can kind of come back and reassess. Let's sell one more. I think that'll be good. So how many are on there now? 8. So I sold half. We do have a decent buildup of grain here, which is good. We have one ship stepping off, and then I think the rest of them kind of already headed up here. There's one there. I don't know. I'm not sure where the rest of them are, but they're around. This is now going to deliver 132, so one full grain shipment up here. Now we do have, let's see, what is this line? So this is grain and food. So let's make sure they're going to wait down here for a full load of grain before they come up, which is okay because we actually have a pretty decent amount of grain. So why don't we double the number of vehicles on that line? This is also a platform that I kind of wanted to fix by allowing some of these trucks that want to get back on the highway to leave right here. So if we come in here, configure this, and we give them maybe an exit, that would probably work. And then we can go ahead and do something like that to allow those trucks to just turn around and leave. That would probably be good. It'll give them a much shorter route to get back onto the highway. And let's see. I think these are our 6 new trucks. Not sure where they came from. Probably Duck and Field. But that should allow us to now move a lot more grain. And we have our first full delivery of grain coming in here. So I am just going to buffer this with a building, just so that we don't completely overload the platforms. So that should allow us to get a ton more grain being moved up here. Now if we come back down here, let's see how this is doing for grain. This has a good supply of grain going now, which is good. These trucks are moving a ton. We've still got our ships moving a decent amount of grain, which is good. And then we have our train delivery of grain coming in, which is also good to see. And let's see, is that going to pick up the full load? It is. Okay, so now, other things that we need to move. Goods and food. So we have some food making its way back on the grain train, 72 food. Goods are making their way back on the silver ore trains. And I don't really want to interrupt the amount of silver ore being moved. So, I can't really take off gondolas and add on cars unless I wanted to add on a completely new train. Have 3 ore trains that are also moving goods. That is an option. Let me just have a think for a minute. Because I don't really... Do I want to do just like a purely goods-focused train? And do I want to do a purely food-related train making their way down here? Oh, this is completely clogged up. Alright, so what I might do, if I come in here, I'm going to edit this. So this is 354 meters. So let's assume that it's a 360 meter platform. I'm going to add on maybe 4 more boxcars to move food. So let's take off 1, 2, 3, 4. Add on a couple more boxcars. 4 more. And then I'm going to add on a completely new train onto there. And I'm going to stop this train to allow this one to get on the line. And then once this one gets fully on the line, we'll start this one back up. There we go. So that will allow us to move more food down here. So hopefully that will kind of alleviate the food issue. And it'll still result in more net gain of grain. So that'll be good. Now, getting goods over to Carshalton is the next thing that we want to handle. So we could just drop off goods. That is certainly an option. We could just make a dedicated goods train that's just going to come in here and pick up goods and leave. We just got a new vehicle. We got another Junkers. Or do I want to do something similar, shift around these ore trains and add on more boxcars? We could do that. So let's come in here. Let's edit these. These are 200 limited to 240. So let's come back here. Let's take off maybe 3 gondolas and add on 3 more boxcars. Something like that. Now we can make these black and then add on 1 more train. That's going to come out all the way up here. So we have no real way to balance that out. But that should result in more... Let's see, yeah, more goods being moved back. Alright, and let's see. Trains mutually blocked. Where? Ah. That's an issue that I didn't really think about. Okay, so let's pause this. Let's think about this for a minute. We need to give them a way to slip out of there. So if I grab a track, we will have catenary on it. And then we'll run this all the way up here, parallel to this track. Let's get rid of these signals, like that. Pull this up here, and then we'll merge it in right before this. Let's do a 30-mile-an-hour merge. And now I'm going to want one-way signals, so one-way yes. If I add one right here, so that's a one-way signal. That'll back it all the way up. And then I guess a one-way signal here. Could not connect all stations. If I get rid of that, let's see what they're doing. So they're using that. Why? Why wouldn't they hop on here? And then get back on there. And now that's blocking that. I don't have any signals in here that are interfering. But for some reason, when I put that in, now they can't connect. Oh, maybe there's no catenary in here. Yep. That's it. So if we add that in... Now they can connect. Disregard the little clipping here. That should be okay. But now this train should leave. This one should move up. Let's see if I actually get rid of that signal and make them stop here. Do they have enough space? Potentially not. So what if I pause this? I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm going to get rid of that. Let's see where I can make this. If we go a bit tighter. Move that out so it's a 30 mile an hour. Connect that in. Go out to 30 there. Now they should have enough room, so we'll put a one-way signal there. Get rid of that one. And now that should work. Just kind of want to speed this up, just so I can see some measurements here. So there's no signaling here, so the trains should still wait here until they can make it through. And now, for some reason, we couldn't connect all stations again. Let's just let that get out of there. That needs to be electric. Okay, and now we're good. Okay, that took a lot of fixing. We should be good now. So let's see, is this one of our ore trains? It is. So let's kind of gauge how many goods they take when they leave. We are doing pretty well on grain. We could probably drop another few trucks onto this line. So let's come up here. Maybe get like 6 more. Because this is ready to max out. We just need to deliver more of the grain. And now this train should go ahead and load up. Alright, yeah, so 64 goods. That's a much better delivery, and now there's three trains on that line. So we should get a really good amount delivered. Not really sure why these are all bottled up. Might be leftover from the might be leftover from when this was all bottled up from not having any food to deliver. But we really need this grain to be delivered, or dropped off, so that we can load this train up and get it out of here. We are going to need to move more grain down here, which is why you just saw me add 4 vehicles. Now I'm going to add 4 more, so that they're a little bit more spaced out. And this is still waiting on about 20 grain. Not sure where that other train is. Yeah, it's already on its way back. If it has to wait in the station, that's not a problem, but it won't. It'll wait out here. Should wait right there at that intersection. Wrong train. That'll be this train here. So we just need to get more grain moved down here. Might even add a few more. So now we got 30 trucks on that line moving grain, which is a pretty substantial number. So let's let that kind of work. We do have a pretty solid amount of grain being delivered here. We just had the drop off and we added more trucks here. Let's come up here and see how these trucks are doing. We're doing okay. We're still not delivering a ton, but we have a really good amount on the platform here. We have a ship coming down here, which means we should have a number of ships. So we have one leaving. Yeah, we have a second one leaving. So these ones are kind of bunched up. That's okay, though. We have a ton of grain on this platform. So let's come in here and get some more vehicles on here. Maybe 8 more. Bring it up to like 20 vehicles. And that should result in a lot more alcohol being produced, and therefore a lot more being moved back and forth. We do have a ton of food up here. Let's get some more vehicles on there to get that moved. And I just want to make sure that this line, they shouldn't be waiting. Yeah, they're not waiting at either end. So they're just going to pick up whatever's there and then move on. So that is good. Our highway is working really well. We got a lot of vehicles moving here. Not sure why these guys are stopping here. I don't have any way to prevent them from stopping. I wish they would just flow right through, but that's okay. And then one other thing that I was thinking of, this bus line right here, Redruth to Sandown, would it make more sense to have them get off the highway here and go into town? I mean, right now it probably doesn't matter because the speeds are, you know, roughly all the same. But once we get faster vehicles, getting them on the highway sooner would make a much shorter trip when you really think about it. So, just something to keep in mind for the future. That ferry is doing really well, so is this one. It's the Carshalton branch that doesn't really seem to want to play ball, but that's okay. Plastic. We have a huge amount of plastic getting delivered. Get maybe 4 more vehicles on there. Let's actually go out here and check to see how this is doing. Yeah, so silver is the limiting factor. You know, might be able to get like 1 or 2 more trucks delivering silver, but not that many. We are limited by just how much we're producing, which is, you know, not a lot, unfortunately. And it makes me wonder whether or not we're moving enough silver ore. I'd say we probably are. We do have a nice industrial area down here, which is good. Good to see. For the most part, this is working really well. So, some other things that we could do in the future. Oaken Gates has not yet been touched. Midhurst really hasn't either. Midhurst is getting, tools, and it's got a single bus stop. But I think we could help Midhurst along. So why don't we give Midhurst a little bus circulator, and then kind of work on their bus situation. So let's get a road in there. I think it will circulate right up and down here. Maybe? Or would I want to come up this street? If I upgrade this street, then run a road straight through there. It is going to demolish some buildings, but I think that that's actually a nicer circulator. So we could do something like that. We'll delete those. We will delete this bus stop altogether. We could go ahead in here and go something like that. And I could actually rotate this around so it just kind of connects right here. So the buses literally go through it to get back onto the road. Let's do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this road out a little bit further. Let's go ahead and put that in there. Switch that so we can spin it around. It's a little steep, not terrible though. We can just kind of smooth this out a little bit. Why don't we get a little bit bigger of a platform there, and we can go ahead and put that bus stop in there, just like that. So now, as far as bus stops go, where do we want these? Probably here. Maybe one on the end here, one there, one there, and one there. So now, if we get our Midhurst, where's the line? Because I deleted one stop on it. So it's going to be Carshalton, it should be Carshalton or Skelton to Midhurst, right here. So now if we add a stop, we'll take them right into here. And at Midhurst, we'll use platform 1. So they'll stop right there. Now, let's create our new line. So we'll come here. And we'll work all the way down like that. Let's make it like a dark green. Quick autosave. So we'll make this a dark green. And we will call this a bus route. And this will be Midhurst. Actually, you know what? I'm going to make it trams. Tram. And this is going clockwise. So let's copy that. Let's go new line. And this will be counterclockwise. Midhurst tram. Dark green. It'll come around like this. And those are using the stops that we want. And you know what? We're going to give Midhurst a tram just because I've neglected them for so long. So just kind of following this route that we've made right down here. Like that. And now we're going to need a tram depot. So let's get this in here. Put it up here, kind of in the industrial area. So why don't we spin this around? Could probably just put it right here. Although I think I'll put it there, and then just tie a little tram track into there. And now let's get some trams. So we have these new trams, the Type T1. They can carry 23. So why don't we get maybe 6 of them? They're going to be quite expensive. Maybe 4. We'll get 4. And we will put 2 on each line. So 2 on the counterclockwise and 2 on the clockwise. And let's just see if those are the trams that we're using here in Skelton. They should be, but I'm not sure. So let's go down to tram. Yeah. And we'll get the new trams down here in Skelton as well. Tons of people here. Actually, tons of people at all of these stops, so you might want to come into the Skelton trams and get another one on each of those lines. And then let's go down and check our trams in Carshalton. Now the Carshalton trams, I kind of wonder if I should move them onto this big street here. Because if we look at the catchment of these stops, I think we could. So let's go ahead and get trams going down this big street here. And then if we go into our bus stops, so we have our stop there. Maybe add some tram stops there. And then if I get rid of this one, so now they don't see New Street anymore. So after Kingsway, go to Grange Road, and then back to School Lane. And then this one, after School Lane, you're going to Queensway. So after Kingsway, go to Grange Road. School Lane, Kingsway, Grange Road. No. School Lane, Grange Road, Kingsway, Victoria. Yeah, that works. And we should still have the entire center of the city covered between all these stops. We do. Okay. And now we can come in here and we can remove the tram tracks from this section. Like that. And then we could come in here and upgrade this to have bus lanes. Just to kind of help our traffic flow. Like that. So now we have bus lanes in there. And that should work really well. And we might as well come in here and give them the new trams as well. Since we have plenty of money, there's really no reason not to. Let's see how we're doing for passengers at these stops. These ones are not nearly as packed as the Skelton stops, so we should be okay. Where is this food go? Oh, that's going into Carshalton itself. So let's check out that truck stop. It's right here. We do have a stop coming here that's delivering food. We could add another one. But I think what I'm more interested in is why are they taking this route? After Manchester, go up here. Just kind of square it off a little bit. We could add bus lanes coming down here, just until they get there, so that they're using that. And then we could have bus lanes here as well for those trams. And that will be good. Yeah, and now this is working really well. We could put a few more vehicles on the silver delivery. I think now that we have more trains delivering silver ore, we're producing it at a higher rate. We are starting to clear out some of those goods. The food is piling up for Tenderden, which is great. These are now taking back 104 food, which is really good. So we should have just an enormous amount of food down here. We do. Grain, we could probably add on a few more trucks. Maybe 6 more to move the grain down there. I really want to get the new trucks so that we can take some of them off the road while still maintaining the same capacity. That would be extremely helpful. Okay, so this is going really well, guys. I think we are going to call this the end of the episode. We've gotten a lot of stuff done. This has pretty much been the grain episode, just so that we can get more and more grain delivered. Looks like this is demanding a ton more grain now, so let's get on a few more vehicles. Maybe 6. We'll bring that up to 14. It should be good. And we might even want to get another ship on here, truthfully. But we've done so much with our grain production. Really good to see. As well as, just kind of fix some things throughout, get a little bit more transportation going on. We are going to continue to work in places like Midhurst to help them out. Skelton and Midhurst buses. And I feel like I could spend all day doing this, tweaking things. But we are going to call this the end of the episode. If you made it this far and you enjoyed this episode, definitely consider subscribing for more videos. We're doing great, almost at 700 subscribers, which I can't thank you guys enough for. I hope you guys are enjoying the series, and I will see you guys in the next episode. So until then, have a great day. Thanks. Bye.